Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's been a while, right? Hey Tarun, hey Vishal, how are you guys doing? We'll just start in like 2 minutes. We'll just wait for another 2 minutes until people joins the call. Sorry, the stream, and then we'll get started. Meanwhile, if you guys wanna talk about anything, you can. Like if you guys wanna discuss something, you have any doubts or wanna talk about anything else like tech or anything that's happening, you can drop a chat message in the chat. Hey guys. And by the way, I hope I'm audible properly to you. So make can you guys confirm like if there's no background noise or anything from my side? Is everything fine? Audible. Nice. All right. Let me move this here. Can actually see the chat here. This software is good. Okay, so we'll keep it this so that we can see the main purpose of the workshop. Okay, great. If everything is fine, then that's well and good. I'm gonna just move the mic a bit down so that I can see the screen as well. All right, we'll get started then. Okay, so thank you all for being here. So the goal of this workshop would be this is a kind of new thing that even I'm doing here, this workshop. Before, every time it was either React or Node.js or building projects, right? So this would be something new. This would be like a design and to code workshop. Like first we design everything in a Figma and then we move everything to a React code. Okay, so this is one of my favorite topic because I myself admire designs a lot, like UX UI designing a lot. And then even when I was starting React, I did do a bit of design. I'm not like expert in UI designing, I'm not, but I know a bit. Okay, I can make a simple designs. I do involve in psychology discussions that happens in designing, like which color to choose, where to add this button, where to place this component, and how the user would use it. So basically all these decisions that happens while designing an application, right? So I will be involved in that as well. Okay, so I thought maybe why not teach you guys something like that, and then build, like design a simple dashboard and then use that dashboard as a reference to basically clone the same thing in React. Okay, so we'll be doing that. And I did design like a very simple dashboard for reference, and here it is. So we'll be designing a dashboard like this. Okay, so I just used the Duolearn logo because that was I had this logo in my at that moment I had this logo right next to my screen, so I just copy pasted that. But you're free to use any logo you want, and you're free to use any colors you want. So if you want to modify a bit of colors, you can do that. Okay, so the goal of this today's workshop, right, today's session would be like teaching you guys not only to design here, but also I would also go through some of the concepts like how to choose colors and how to make sure the UI would pop out. Like basically the UI is subtle. Okay, because what I would see is many people make is they tend to overdo it. Okay, so when building a application, right, so you can see some of the mistakes that people make. Either they'll use very white, dark white background, like full white background, and then they would use like cards like this, right, components like this, right, and the component will have very dark shadows. That doesn't look good. Okay, so we'll address those type of things. Okay, so we'll address those type of things. We'll talk about psychology, we'll talk about what to place here and why to place here and everything. Okay, all right, let's move on. Okay, so let's create a new file. I'm gonna just keep this here for reference. Okay, if I do that, and I cannot see your chat messages, so let me open up this stream on my mobile phone so that I can see you chat. So if you guys are posting any questions or any doubts, so that I can actually see it. Yep, and of course mute it. Yep. Okay, so I have your chat here on my mobile. So if you guys have any doubt, you can feel free to drop a message. I can actually see them. Okay, let me keep this in front of me here. Yeah. All right, let's get started. Oh, I just gave you guys like a spoiler alert. So Okay, since it's already on the screen, this is one of the designs that I made for Duolearn. Um, I shouldn't actually show you this. It's like a spoiler. I wanted to like get you guys on a community call and then show you the application. But we are building many things in Duolearn. Like this is one of our three platforms that we're building. Like not three, it will be in the same platform only, but three different version, like the three different pages. Okay, sections. So one would be the private section for people who bought the course, and then one would be free for all, where we list all the projects and everything. So you can actually click on this and then build your own project, and we would actually guide you throughout the project. So basically it's like free mentorship for everybody. Okay, so building such platform, it might take like another 20 days, but once it's out, we'll have a community call with you guys, and then of course we can talk about it. So let's create a new design file. We'll keep that aside for now. And yep, okay, we have the design file here. So I'm gonna name this as Duolearn D2C workshop, design to code workshop. Okay, so the first thing that you guys have to take care is screen size. So you have to decide which screen are you developing for. Okay, when I say screen, it means device. Okay, it can be a PC, it can be a tab, it can be a mobile phone. So we'll start off for now. Since we're getting started, we'll start with a PC because it's very easy to get started. Okay, so here you can see there is this icon, right? The hash icon. So click on that, and then here you can select. If I can zoom in, no, I cannot zoom in. Okay, you can select any of the desktop you want. So you can select Mac Air, MacBook Pro 14, MacBook Pro 16 and everything. I'm going to select MacBook Pro 16. Okay, when I select MacBook Pro 16, you can see a blank canvas pops up, and this is of size MacBook Pro 16. Okay, it's a MacBook Pro 16 and it's a blank canvas. It's just white and blank, nothing else. Okay, and this is known as artboard. Okay, we call this as artboard, ARTBOARD. Okay, artboard. So this represents your screen, basically your device. Okay, this represents your device. Okay, so now we'll start building this. And one of the trick that I can teach you guys is one of the tip, actually not trick, a tip. You can use this website. So you can go to Happy Hue. Okay, Happy Hue. This is one of the website that I usually use when I'm not sure which colors to choose. Okay, so you can go to this website Happy Hues. This will give you a list of color palette. Okay, and this is very much useful website because you can actually see the demo as well here. So if I go to the first one, I can see if I use these colors, how would my website look like. Okay, so it has a demo as well. So basically you can choose any type of theme you want. Okay, so basically a theme keeps generating, and you can choose any type of theme you want, and then you can actually use these colors. And again, these colors are not random. Okay, they are well researched. You can see they have a color psychology here as well. So it talks about what is the color that I used here, and what is the meaning of those colors. Okay, this is very important in design. Okay, so usually you can see red is like a very emotional color. It basically says you use it to trigger negative emotions, like to close something, or when you're deleting something, you're gonna just use a red color button, right? Even if, for example, if you take GitHub, if you're deleting a repo, it highlights everything in red color, indicating that it's a negative emotion, indicating that you're doing something that would be bad. Okay, so something like that. Yellow is more of like bright and energizing, so that's the reason I use yellow theme for Duolearn. Okay, so it's energizing, like it gets your dopamine up. It basically creates this hype. Okay, similarly there are many things like blue is very calming, green is very positive. Similarly, there are many psychology of colors. You can just Google color psychology. There's a website that is dedicated to that. You can read what every color means and how we could implement it. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to design. All right, we're back to the design. Okay, so first let's make this background color a bit dark because we are following a darkish theme. Okay, because I want to use yellow color here because I want this whole dashboard to be a bit energized. Okay, a bit hyped. Okay, so I'm going to use dark color so that my yellow color can be highlighted here. Okay, if I use white and yellow color, it doesn't white would actually dominate my yellow color, right? So if I just, let's say I use some square here. Okay, I use a square here, and then let me copy that yellow color, Okay, the code, I'll do one thing. I'm gonna just paste the color code here so that you guys can also see that. So here, this would be the color, and then we'll just paste I'll just paste this one here as well so that you guys can also see it. Okay, so this is the color code. Okay, this is the color code that we'll be using. This is with the primary color. All right, great. Okay, so now you can see if I use this yellow with my white background here, you can see white is actually dominating my yellow color. So yellow color in this white background isn't much appreciated. It's like irritating, right? We're not allowing it to show its full potential here. So what we would do is we would cancel this, and I would actually choose a darkish background. So the dark background that I chose was bit darkish gray. It not entirely black, bit darkish gray. The reason is I personally don't choose the full black because it makes things very high contrast. Okay, so if I choose entire black, right, let's say I go 000, totally black, you can see it basically strains your eyes because it's totally black, the contrast is very high, and your eyes it basically creates this tension in your eyes whenever you see the screen. Okay, even now you can check out Figma. In my Figma background, right, do you see the whole black is being used? No. So we usually tend to use darkish gray, like a variation of gray, so that we don't actually use a darkish background like a black, which would hurt our eyes. Okay, that's the reason we'll go with darkish gray. So I have a color code for that as well. Let me paste that here, and that would be this, and I would just make this white color for text. Okay, so this would be our background. Now you can see, now it's good, right? It's kind of like darkish gray, but it's not entirely black, and it's good now, so it doesn't hurt our eyes right now. Okay, now coming up to components. Right now the background is set. Now we have to, okay, right, is there any questions that you guys want to ask? Hold on, my phone was off, so I didn't see any questions. Let me check. Okay, there is no questions. Great. Okay, right. Okay, so now let's coming to the components. Talking about components, so what are components that I'm talking about? Components are something that would show things in our design. Okay, so basically if I just get my old design here, you can see this is a component. So basically it is showing me some information, right? This is a component, it is showing me some information. This is a component, it is showing me some information. This is the component is showing me some information. Okay, so we call this as components, and we'll be adding them right now. Okay, great. So now let's add a nav bar. Okay, first thing that we get is nav bar. So if you go to the top toolbar, you can see a square. Okay, you can see a square icon there. If you click on that, you will get a wide range of other shapes. Okay, right now what do we need? A nav bar is a rectangular shape, right? So we'll take up first one, rectangular, and we'll draw it. We'll draw it on the design, and we'll just extend it until and unless we meet. Okay, so you can just this ruler pops out automatically. It automatically help you judge whether or not you're touching the edges of the design. Okay, so that's pretty good of feature of Figma. And then I'll show you one more thing that I would do, visually designers would do, that's using columns. We'll do that later once the nav bar is done. Okay, so now you can see there is one issue here. Our background is dark color, but the nav bar is light color. Not good, right? I mean, it doesn't look good. It looks awkward, right? Again, this is not good as well. Right now we have two opposite colors, right? Light and dark. It's opposite contrast. So this would again hurt user eyes. It would hurt user eyes. If you build an application, so let me show you, you'll actually understand that. So if I build something like this, don't you think it would hurt user eyes? Don't you think it would hurt your eyes if you see this application? It would, right? So We'll just remove this, and we'll have to come up with a dark color, but not totally dark, but bit lighter than the background color. We have to come with a darkish color, but not entirely darker than the background color, because we don't have to highlight the background color here. We want this component to be highlighted. So I chose another color. I'll paste that here. Right, this one. It's bit of darkish color, darkish gray, but not entirely dark as the background. Okay, so here we'll paste it here. We'll get the color code, and here we go. So this one. So you can see it's not entirely dark as the background, but it's darkish gray itself. Okay, now we will use this for the navbar and for all our components. Now we can see it's good, right? It's totally dark. Both are dark themed only, but the navbar is slightly lighter than the background color, which creates this highlighting as well. So now you can see it's totally darkish color. Okay, great. Now what we'll do is we'll get a logo. So I'm gonna go get a Duolearn logo itself. Where is it? Yep. And you can see the same. I'm using the same theme for my Duolearn products as well. Okay, so cool. I'm gonna just copy paste the Duolearn logo. But if you're using an external logo, right? Let's go and get external logo. Let's go to Google and get. Let me see if I can get their Happy Who's logo itself. Okay, it's not an image. Okay, it's, I think it's an SVG. Let's go and get what is the product? I think I'll go and get maybe React logo itself. React logo. Go to images. We need PNG though. Right now I don't think these are PNGs. PNG. Oh, is this a PNG image? No, right? Yeah, it's a PNG image. Let's copy this. I'm gonna click right click, copy image. Not copy image address, you have to copy the image itself. Okay, right click on that and copy image. Okay, and then in your Figma, make sure to highlight or click on the MacBook Pro 18 or whatever screen you're in, and then hit Ctrl V. If you're in Mac, hit Ctrl, it's Command V. Okay, now you can see the image is pasted. You just have to resize it. So while resizing, here's a trick. Make sure to hold on Shift key. Okay, and then resize. It will automatically resize evenly. Okay, if you don't hold Shift key, if you resize like that, you can actually get inconsistent data, inconsistent resizing here. Okay, always make sure you're holding Shift key while resizing this. Okay, then you just paste it here. What happened to this? Let's reduce the width and height. I'm gonna just I think you cannot. This is the entire image. If you try to resize this, that's nothing's happening. Let's resize here. Okay, now it's good. We'll just drop it here. Resize some more. Drop it here. Okay, this looks good. Okay, so now we have React here. Okay, this is how you actually copy paste your images, or you can also drag and drop from your system as well. Both works. Okay, great. So now where do I actually place this logo? Do I place it here, or do I place it here, or do I place it here? Confusion, right? So what I can do is I can actually highlight this artboard. Okay, and then there is a option called layout grid. Okay, if you can see right side, there is an option called layout grid. You select that. Okay, and then you will get a grid. Okay, right now you can see there is some reddish color here, reddish line here, right? I don't know if you can see this, but there is a reddish boxes here. What I would do is I'm going to click on that. Here I will get a grid. I'm going to select columns. Again, select your artboard, select layout grid, and click on the grid icon. Select columns here. So you would actually get a drop down, select columns, and then you can say 20. The count, you can say 20 counts. Okay, now we can see we have 20 columns here. Now you can easily decide where you can actually post it. So basically this is to align items properly. So align your UI elements properly. Okay, so I'm going to post it here. Okay, I'm going to place my logo here, and this won't render in your design. Okay, so if you see the output, this columns are just for your references. They won't be actually coming out when you're outputting this design. Okay, this is just for reference. So we'll just keep it like this. Okay, so I'm just keeping at the end of the second column. Okay, great. Now let's start designing our components. Okay, so we need 4 components. Okay, so if I get the design back, so we need 4 components. One is for overview, wallet, quick invest, and the news. So basically we need 4 rectangulars and everything. Okay, of different sizes, as again, of course. So now what we'll do here is, you can go here and select the rectangle, or you can hit R in your keyboard, R. Okay, that will select the rectangle, and then we would draw. Okay, so we would draw something like this. Make sure it is aligning properly with the logo. Okay, don't place it here or here anywhere. Make sure it properly aligns with that logo. Okay, I'm going to just get it down a bit so that there is some space here from the nav bar, right, so that I can actually add overview text on top later. Okay, so this would be a background color of this. So we'll copy the color code, we'll paste the color code for this. Okay, and then we need these edges are sharp here, right? Edges are sharp here. We need that to be rounded a bit. So here, select the component on top. You'll actually get that here. So you can see here you're getting this tiny dot, right? You can extend it. I usually keep it 10. You can also do that. So you can extend it a bit. So now we can see the edges are not sharp anymore. Okay, or you can also use this property here. So you can see there is a property like this. Okay, there is a element. I cannot highlight it though. I don't like, if it was a browser I could have zoomed in, but here I cannot zoom in. So alright, okay, so we have one component here. I'm gonna just make this a bit bigger because we have to get the chart here. Okay, and the next would be, we'll just to duplicate the component, you just have to hit Command D in Mac and Control D in Windows. Okay, just hit Control D or Command D. This will duplicate the component, and we will just get this here, and this would be the wallet balance. That's all. Okay, so we need 3 wallet balances, so we'll just have 1 2 3, and then we will just extend this to match that length, to match the length, something like this. We'll just move this a little bit closer. Okay, now we can easily remove this column. We don't need it because we already have like 2 elements here on the screen, so we can easily identify it. So now we can see we have the first layout done. Okay, so first 2 component layout done. Okay, now we need 2 more, right? We need 2 more, but the thing is there is no space at the bottom, right? There is no space. So what we can do is, you can select the artboard, and then at the bottom you can hover on the edge, and then you can actually resize it like this. Okay, you can actually resize it like this. Great. Now what else do we need? We need a news, and then we need a quick invest tab. So I'm going to duplicate this again. I'm going to just move this down a little bit down, because I have to add text as well here on top. Okay, and this would be a bit smaller for news. And then at last we need one more. Oops. Wait, where did it go? Okay, we need one more, that is for, what is it? Quick invest. So we'll just use this. All right, so there we go. You have your design ready. So you have, layout ready. So you have your basic layout ready, like a sketch of your layout. Now what we'll do is we'll start populating that with contents, design elements, and other assets. Okay, so till then, do you guys have any doubts? Let me open up the chat. Okay, do you guys have any doubts till now? All right, moving on. Great. So now let's add the title, basically the overview text and everything. So what I'll do is, I'm going to just move this down a little bit more. We'll get it up again depending on that size. So here we'll call this as overview. Okay, I'm going to call this as overview, I'm gonna keep the font size as 32 itself. Maybe like I'm gonna make this as 40. Yeah, 40 should be good. So we'll just move a little bit up. Okay, there's some space, and then I'm gonna move this up a little bit. Okay, similarly duplicate this, get it here. This would be wallet. Okay, so then again move these three things up. Okay, now we can see they're properly aligned. Again duplicate the text, get it down. Okay, this seems to be properly aligned as well. Now you can see if I do something, if I move this here, you can see there's this thing pops up, right? There is this yellowish color, orange color popping up, right? That shows what is the spacing. If I let go, then it will actually go away, so I'm not letting it go. I cannot even zoom in as well. Okay, and there is this, it actually shows you a number that shows what is the amount of space you have. Okay, and usually you have to keep it equal. Okay, if you keep it equal, then it looks good. Okay, so now we'll just move these a bit top. Okay, now we can see everything looks good. Okay, so you can use those numbers. It automatically appears. You don't have to do anything. You just have to move your component a bit, and it automatically determines what is the spacing that you guys have, like your component have, and it will automatically show up. Okay, so here this would be news. Then we'll actually move the news, duplicate it. This would be quick invest. Quick invest. Okay, now we can see we have four components with the title ready. So now the next thing that we will have to do is we have to group them. Right now all are individual. Okay, now we have to group them. So I'm gonna just drag my mouse over overview and its card. Okay, and make sure they both are selected, and then I'll hit Control G. Okay, Control G. This will group overview. Okay, and that will be named as group 1. Okay, I'm gonna just rename it. I'm gonna say, what is it? Overview. I'm gonna rename that in the left panel. Okay, similarly I'm gonna just highlight wallet, the first and the third card, the second, third card. Make sure all of those are highlighted, and then I'm gonna hit Control G. That will group again. So I'm gonna name this as wallet. I'll do the same thing for news. Do the same thing for quick invest. That's all. So now you can see we have overview, news, and everything, and on the top we'll group that as well. Logo and the background, we'll call that as navbar. So now you can see your sidebar is a bit cleaner, right? Inside your MacBook Pro 16 artboard, you have everything named and everything looks clean. Okay, you don't have like rectangle 1, rectangle 2, rectangle 3 and everything looks good, right? So yeah, now what we'll do is we will have the content inside this. Okay, the first content that we need is some text, right? So I do have some text here. So before that we need the what do you call that, as the chart, right? We need the chart. So I actually have this another design for chart. I actually got it from the community. Let me get that, because chart is very hard to create in Figma and I'm not so professional to create a chart. Where is that? Yeah, this should be it. Easy V chart. I'll link this in the description, okay, so that you guys can actually check it out, or else I'll just do it right now. Hold on, let it load. I'll just share this with you guys. Okay, yeah, this one, and get embed, copy link. There we go. All right, so that will be the link of the this particular Figma design. You can get it. So there's some issues with the network, I guess. It says that I cannot maintain. Okay, so it should be good now. Let me know if the video is choppy or something, guys. I think it's good only. Yeah, let me know if it's not good. Okay, so here I'm gonna go to line chart. I need a line chart. Okay, and then I'm gonna select this one. Okay, this one. So I'm gonna just click on this, select it, go to the design. Where is that? We just have to like click on that and hit Control C to copy it, and then here make sure you double click on your rectangle here, that your overview rectangle, and then hit Control C. Okay, that will paste it. So hold on, it is pasting everything, so it will take some few seconds. Okay, then you'll get your component here. Okay, so now we'll just resize this. So we can just resize it a bit. Don't resize it entirely so that it hits the edges. Just keep some space. This looks good. Okay, so just keep some space as well so that you don't actually hit the edges. And you can also increase a bit, but the thing is our screen size is a bit smaller, so that we cannot increase a lot. So what we will do is, in order to compensate for this, we will actually reduce this the width height of the card. So we'll reduce the height of the card a bit so that it looks good even when it's smaller, so that there's no much space available. Okay, okay, great. Now let's change this reddish color. We have this red color, right? Let's change it to yellow color that we have, the primary color. So for that, you can actually double click on that. Okay, so there is this something called line group. Okay, you can see here on the left side down, line group. There you will get the selection colors. Okay, you have the selection colors here. You have to change that. Before doing that, you have to unlink it. So basically all these components are linked together. Okay, they are linked, and then they are actually triggered by these this one here. What do you call this as? Basically they're grouped and then they're linked. Okay, it is made as a component, so you cannot just change one thing. In if you change one thing, it will affect the other, so you have to unlink them. So to unlink them is very simple. You have to just click on this icon. There is a detach icon here. You have to just click on that. Now everything is detached. You can easily modify. So I'm going to copy my color code here. I'm going to go to red color, then I'm going to say change it. That's it. Okay, and then we have another one red color here, so we have to change that as well. Change it, and then this will be 20%. There we go. So we have this one updated. Okay, next up we have to add some text here, right? We have to add some text, so we'll add some text here as well. I think I want to make this a bit more smaller so that it looks good. Let's get this on top a bit. Okay, we'll update this wallet style as well, don't worry. Okay, we'll just make this wallet as well a bit smaller. Okay, now let's add some text. Okay, so to add a text, what we'll do is, here we'll say total profit. Okay, total profit. This is optional. You can have anything you guys want here. Total profit. I'm gonna just change the font size. Hold on. Wait, what happened? I'm not getting any font style, guys, here. I'm not sure why. Okay. All right. Yeah, this works. Yeah. Total profit. Okay, total profit. This font size should be smaller, very smaller. I'm going to go with 20. Okay, yeah, 20 or 16. Yes. Okay, and then we will have around 2000 INR. So whatever it works for you guys. Okay, and we will just make this as 30, bit bigger. Okay, so total profit would be the header, and this will be medium. Let's now keep it bold. Okay, and this would be yellow color. Okay, the heading would be yellow color, something like this. Total profit 200 INR. Similarly, you can actually group them and also rename them to total profit. Okay, and then you can actually like, duplicate them like this. Okay, so we'll just make sure they have adequate spaces so that they're not congested, something like this. Okay, now we'll just rename the label. So here it will be total invested. Okay, so we'll just make that as 300 INR. Okay, and total gainers, I'm actually referring to like a stock market or crypto dashboard kind of thing. And total, so I invested around, let's say I invested up to 300 stocks or crypto. My total gainers are like 200 and my total losers are like 100. Okay, so there we go. So we have the first component ready. Okay, so we'll just make this a bit because this seems like does not have enough space. We'll just make it a bit more spacious. Good. Yeah, looks good. There you go. You have your first component ready. Voice is paused. Not sure, guys. It's the network is also full here. There's no issue with the network as well. If I refresh, yeah, it works. Streaming is lagging. Okay. I hope it's fine now. Is it fine? Is it good now? Alright, great. Alright, so now since we're done with the overview, we'll move on to wallets. So we'll just have to resize the wallet cards a bit, height of the wallet card so that it matches with the overview card. Remove this as well, duplicate this, add it here. Okay, a bit bigger and bigger. There you go. So now we can see I just tried to move it around a bit and then now I achieved equal spacing between those two. So now we can see it looks good. Okay, so now we'll just move these things to up a bit so that they don't have right now they have much space here, so we'll just have to move them a bit more up so that it doesn't look emptiness. Okay, now great. So now we have wallet. So let's populate wallet. Okay, for wallet we need icons. That I have icons here that is actually pre-made. It's actually made. It's not like I got it from online source something. It was actually made by one of the designer. I actually tried to borrow it. I borrowed it actually, and I'm gonna keep it here and I'll share this file with you so that you can have reference of these. Okay, so I'll just keep it here so that when I share it, if you guys want this icon, you can actually use it. Okay, so now we'll actually use the wallet icon here. I'm gonna copy it, Control C or Command C, double click on my rectangle here and then paste it so that it appears there. Okay, so this would be wallet. Okay, and then we need some text, right? So I'm gonna hit T to get my text here, and then I'm gonna say wallet balance. So this is bold, text is bold. I want to make that to medium, and then I'm gonna make it 20. Okay, bit smaller. 20 is actually a bit bigger, I guess. I have to make this even more smaller. I'm gonna make this 16. Yeah, it looks good now. Okay, now you can see this text is aligned properly with the wallet. You can see if I move this, you can there's a line appears, right? There's a line appearing. That means that the text is properly aligned. So I'm gonna just group the icon and the text together so that I can easily move them around a bit. Okay, now what we need is we need the balance. So we need the balance value. So I'm gonna use another T text and then I'm gonna say 1000, and this would be heading, so this would be bold, and then I'm gonna make this as 24 or maybe 30, bit bigger, 30. Okay, so then I'm just gonna move this for the end. Okay, and then we need one more text that says INR. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this, get this at the bottom. I'm going to say INR, and this would be bits very smaller. Okay, so I'm going to make this 14. Okay, and this would be yellow, INR. There we go. We'll group these two things. Okay, now one of the amazing part about Figma, right? We'll just add some commas as well so that it looks actually like something like this. Okay, one of the amazing part about Figma, right? You can actually do this alignment properly. So let's say my this one element is here and another element is here, but they are, one is above, one is below. You want to get them to centered. So instead of you manually using your cursor to determine the alignment, you can use some shortcuts in Figma to get them properly aligned. So let's do that. So to do that, first you have to group, make sure that the rectangle and these elements here are actually grouped. So I'm going to group them. Okay, I'm going to name this as wallet balance. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just select this group 2 and group 1 inside the wallet balance. I'm going to hit this fifth icon. So if you go to top, right side top, you can see a series of icons.